Are you scared?
Hello? What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh my God, I gotta tell you, it may be this one. I'm not sure yet, but we'll get to it. Hello, everyone. My name is Mr. Malave, aka Matthew Malave, and welcome to another edition of Flickbook Horror. And I cannot wait to dive into this episode because we got ourselves a doozy. That's right, it's Dead Silence. But before then, I'm always with a beautiful panel, and of course, my tag team partner of podcasting, the smooth effect himself, Tommy James is first. What's up, buddy?
Mr. Malave, I have to start off by telling you to go fuck yourself for choosing this film. I saw it when it first came out. Haunted my dreams. I bought it. Haunted more of my dreams. I haven't watched it in a long time because I feel I don't need that evil in me right now. And you brought it back, so thank you for that. And yeah.
Well, you're more than welcome, and beware of the stare of Mary Shaw.
I don't think that's the scary part. She's always smiling.
She's always smiling, and I will get to the reason why she's smiling, because she's having a great old time.
She is.
But before then, we made someone else watch this movie because, you know, it's always better in trees, just like deaths, they come in threes, and it's none other than Marvelous Marvin. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? How you doing? Matt, haven't seen you in a long time. Florida man, nice to see you.
Hello, sir.
But you know, this felt like homework. I procrastinated to the last minute and woke up super early to see this, but oh my God, I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know, sometimes homework does do some justice, and I'm glad that you got to it now. And now look at it. You got a nice smile on your face because, you know, we were trying to get you into some horrors. The last time you were on the episode, you weren't buying it. It was 13 Ghosts. You weren't buying it. You were just like, oh, fuck all this shit. But I'm glad that this homework assignment found you in good graces. And yeah, you became a fan. So are you guys ready to dive deep into this fucking movie?
Let's do it.
No.
Well, it's too bad because we are going. That's right. We're talking about 2007's Dead Silence, and it's directed by James Wan, the master of horror himself.
Figures. This came right after Saw.
Yes, right after, like directly after Saw, which Donnie Wahlberg is also in this movie.
He is.
Just like he was in Saw.
He's a new kid on the block.
He is. No, yeah, he is. Yeah. All that I wanted was you. But you can't scream. Don't scream, Donnie, because you will die. It's also starring Ryan Quanten, right? I guess I said that right.
Yeah, he's from True Blood.
Yes, True Blood. Yes, that is true. That is true.
Yeah, he's the brother.
Yes, for sure. Amber Valentina. And of course, we mentioned Donnie Wahlberg, Bobby Gunton. We have Judith Roberts as Mary Shaw, Laura Regan as Lisa Ashton, and we just it's not big of a cast, right? We only knew a few of those people in there. But yes, 2007, it was rated R at about an hour and 30 minutes. Now, I gotta get into this. Let's start with the cast itself. I want to know, Marvin, what do you think about this cast? Like I said, we have Donnie Wahlberg. We've seen him just coming off a Saw. And then, you know, everyone else. You know, what do you think about the cast?
I enjoyed the cast. You know, wasn't what I was expecting. The dude, I forgot his name already, the one from True Blood.
Yep.
I kept confusing him with a different actor, the dude from American Pie for some reason.
Which one?
Stabler, I forget his name.
Stifler?
You thought it was Sean William Scott?
You thought it was Sean William Scott.
For some reason. But I mean, other than that, it was good. I loved it. And then Donnie looks older in this. Like, I've seen him in more recent stuff, and he's a lot younger looking.
Yeah, definitely. It was this was like towards the beginning of his acting prowess, I guess, you know. And yeah, he definitely looked older in this one. The same thing in Saw, I feel like he looked a little older in there too, you know. Which is weird. He has the Benjamin Button effect that, you know, recent shit, he's just younger. It's weird. You know, Smooth Effect. What do you think about this cast, man?
I think the cast is fine. I mean, if you think about it, this isn't like a huge cast, and we focus on every single member of the cast, which is actually done very well. The way James Gunn can actually take a
Juan.
I'm sorry. Well, him too.
Yeah,
James Gunn
Yeah.
and James Wan. But James Wan can take a cast of 10 and make everybody matter. And I feel he did this with this movie. Donnie Wahlberg always plays a cop. He's on Blue Bloods, and I believe he also plays a cop in that one.
Andy Reagan.
Right. And it works. Like he fits that Boston fucking attitude type of cop. And I think they may not realize how cops work in this film. You know, maybe James Wan hasn't done his research on how a cop actually does work, because there's things called jurisdiction and tampering with evidence and all this other shit, which Donnie Wahlberg does not give a shit about. No. He's just like, fuck it, I'm just going to eat, shave, and follow this kid.
And dig up fucking graves.
And dig up some graves, which, by the way, you can't do that. That's against the law. He should know that he's a cop. I like the kid from True Blood. I think with him, though, anybody could have played that role. Yeah. I don't think he was like one of those standouts of the film. The lady that plays Mary Shaw is phenomenal. She's scary as shit. She did the great job with the makeup. And the one that plays the father is actually really popular. That's Bob Gunton. He's in a lot of shit. Patch Adams, Shawshank Redemption, Demolition Man.
Yeah.
He was in the Daredevil TV show on Netflix. So this dude's in a lot of shit. So you got a pretty decent cast, and they all did a very good job. And this movie works because it sticks to that simple cast, and everybody gets their shine. Even Henry's in a lot of shit. That dude is in mad movies.
Yeah, definitely. He plays an old guy really well.
Yes, he plays a very good old guy.
But yeah, I have to agree with you. I mean, they all had this kind of like menacing, like troublesome in their eyes, like which kind of like depicted the whole thing of the movie, right? It was everything gloomy. There's like tragedy around everything, but a lot of hush up. You know what I mean? I mean, attested is the name of the movie, you know, dead silence. You know, everyone's kind of like, ooh, I'm not going to talk that much. I'm going to like talk with my eyes.
Yes.
Which I thought it was beautiful. And yeah, Mary Shaw is fucking scary as shit.
Is.
Dude, you know what I mean?
Honestly, the town of Ravens Fair is its own character. And I loved it. Just the way James Wan can shoot a fucking movie.
Yeah, 100%, man. And I feel like the settings itself in this movie is a character in itself. Especially, you know, as they're traveling, and just like beautifully shot again with James Wan when you get the whole background and like the beginning of the movie. And then they zoom in to the eyes, and then you get it down a pipe, and then it's just painting the story very well. And every time we get into a setting, you could see how it's playing a part of this gloomy, like just essence, and like there's just a lot of secrets in there, and pretty much like a lot of stuff is dying. I think the time of period in the year played a factor. It's like fall, there's not much going in there, you know, it's like cold and dreary, you know, and it's just filmed in this blue saturation that plays a factor with the settings itself, you know, especially in this creepy ass cemetery, you know, even in the mortician shop is fucking scary. Like, you know what I mean? Like
theater.
Yes, the fucking theater. Like it's just crazy. You know what I mean? Marvin, elaborate a little bit more about like what was your favorite setting in this movie, and how did it make you feel? You know,
you brought up a lot of the stuff that I had noticed immediately too, like the beginning, like you said, that shot going down the pipe, or when they get to Ravencraft?
Raven
Fair.
Sorry. But it's like the sign, and then it just melts into like actual like shot.
It goes over to the car driving. It's great.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I mean, the cinematography in there is second to none. Especially because it keeps you engaged. Like everything is intertwined with each other. You know. Yeah, so that was pretty great. And I mean, I know you touched upon it a little bit, Smooth Effect, as far as like, you know, the characteristics of the setting. You know what I mean? What are some of those characteristics besides what I meant with gloomy and dreary, you know?
Well, it's very old fashioned too, which we understand that in horror, old is scary.
Yeah.
Whether it be old people, whether it be just in, a like you mentioned, the gloominess, or if like and I always go back to the theater because it's very old school, things crick, things make sounds. You don't know if that's Mary Shaw or maybe it's just the floor. Water dripping down can scare the shit out of you because honestly, in real life, because that's what makes good horror is makes you feel if could it be real or not. And dead silence, though there's obviously aspects to it where it's not, but going to an old school theater like that or a movie theater or whatnot, that's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like shit. It's going to look like you could fall if you're trying to run, something could break. So I look at that with the theme, the setting of the characteristic of how just the way he shoots everything, even the fucking hallways part when the curtains are swinging and that bitch is coming, and nice and like fuck her for that, by the way. And it's done so well that movie could fuck with anybody that watches it. And honestly, it's fucked up because this movie gets a bad rep. It did not do well in the box office. It does not do well when it goes to critically acclaimed people. But it's becoming to get a cult following because it turns out that this is an extremely underrated James Wan film.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're talking about a Rotten Tomato score of 21.
Not deserved.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and an IMDb score of 6.1 out of 10.
No,
you know what I mean? And that's why I say fuck you critics sometimes, right? And this is why we have this show, right? So we can dive into these movies and I always say it, the critics can say all that they want, because they're getting paid to critique all this bullshit, right? You just go and watch the movie and create your own damn opinion. You know what I mean? And for this movie, low key, it's just a sneaky good James Wan movie, and people shit on it, and fuck you guys for that. Marvin, I saw you shaking your head a little bit, and yes and no while Tommy was talking. What was that like? Do you agree that it says fuck you? Like, you were scared? Were you?
So I wasn't scared, but it had some good moments, and since I was watching this early morning and I wanted to hear it really loud, I put on some headphones. And I'm watching in the first death scene. It was like a jump scare.
Yeah.
And that shit, as soon as that happened, it put the biggest smile on my face. I was like, good, you're doing a good job here. I love it. And then when Mary Shaw kills them and she face fucks their faces or whatever it is she does, and she leaves them with a gaping open mouth. Right. I was like, this is amazing. Like, it wasn't CGI to hell where it looks like fake. I was enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the biggest CGI I feel was obviously her tongue. You know what I mean?
Even that didn't bother me. The only thing that bothered me was towards the end when the faces of the dolls were melting. Yeah, I was like, come on, that was unnecessary. Why'd you have to waste CGI on that? Make it gory somewhere else.
Sure.
Yeah, or just have all their eyes start turning and shit. Because can I just tell you, we forget about one character that doesn't say anything that creeps the shit out of me, and I'm talking about Billy.
Billy,
all right,
nice, man.
Fucking Billy, all right? I don't want that motherfucker staring at me at all, all right? And then I tell you one part of this movie, when Billy's in the fucking passenger seat and he's just out of nowhere, his eyes are slowly turning and looking at this fucking dude Asher, and he's just staring at him like, bro, you really gonna go and burn me? Like, really? I'm gonna fuck you up. I'm gonna fuck you up. Like, fuck Billy and that little ventriloquist doll. Like, nah, bro. Nah. All right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I agree. I mean, one thing that really freaks me out is those stupid dummies. Because I don't like dummies. Like, they're fucking freaky. And, we look at, Slappy from fucking Goosebumps. That's what he looks like, too. Slappy from Goosebumps. And what's funny is because the doll's named Billy, and the doll in Saw is also named Billy, which he makes a special cameo in this movie if you've seen him laying on the floor. So that is pretty cool to see that. But yeah, no, fuck these dolls. Like, there's a doll. I don't know if you caught it. There's a doll that looks like Annabelle.
Yep.
Almost like he was getting. I don't think that he was like, this is going to be a new movie coming out in 10 years or so, or 4 or 7 years. But I guarantee when they had to think of what Annabelle was supposed to look like, because she's technically a Raggedy Ann doll, they went back and said, well, what about this? This is pretty creepy. So, yeah, no, fuck those dolls. And then there's one fucking doll in that fucking chair, and I don't like that fucking doll, and he can kiss my fucking ass, and we'll get to that, but Fuck that clown doll.
Yeah, fuck that clown doll.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, how James Wan is an asshole.
Yeah. He loves the dolls, and I'm pretty sure
he does. Do you know the name of his Instagram handle?
No.
Creepy Puppet.
See?
He's a fucking weirdo.
Fucking weirdo, but that's why he makes really good horror movies. You got to be a little bit of a weirdo. You got to be a little bit of a weirdo. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty of this movie. So we got this couple. We see this couple, and you know they're living their best life. He's trying to fix a pipe, and then he goes to grab some takeout, but not before he gets a mysterious package, and it's fucking Billy, the ventriloquist doll, and he leaves, go get some fucking takeout, comes back. Of course it's raining. Why wouldn't it be raining? It's a scary movie. And then, of course, the wife is making some tea. She hears some noises, and this is the shit that I love the most, because then everything goes away. The sounds start going away slowly, and everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? And
dead silence.
It's silence. It's silence. And right when you start hearing the silence, you know the dead is coming. All right. And that's exactly what happens. And we don't really see her die. We see Billy on the bed, and we see the sheets go over her, and a bunch of craziness goes on, and then you see her kind of outside the door, and all the blood starts coming, and then she gets dragged. Boom. We don't see anything else. Then we shoot over to Asher. He comes in, and he finds the body, and that's when we see it with the fucking mouth all open, and she's all kind of crazy, and you're like, holy fuck, we're in for a ride. You know what I mean? We meet Donnie Wahlberg, the detective, and of course he thinks everyone does it. Plot. He goes back to his house, back to his hometown. Apparently they're both from there, him and his wife. I don't really know. It kind of, that's what I kind of got from it. It's just who? Asher and his wife. That's why he
they're from there. Yeah, they're from Ravens Fair.
Ravens Fair, yes. He meets his dad. He was like, fuck you, dad. And his dad gets around. And he got a young lady.
She's hot.
Young lady.
She's very hot.
Where else is she from? Like, that's what I want to know.
Oh, she's in a bunch of shit, too.
She's in a lot of shit, yeah.
That's Amber Valetti?
Yes.
Well, she's a model. That's the main thing. She was in Hitch, Transporter 2, What Lies Beneath. She was in Gamer, The Spy Next Door.
Yes. All right. Well, there you go. And I do remember. Yes, I remember her vividly now. She's in Hitch. She's the one that Kevin James is trying to mess with.
Oh my God! Yes, it is.
That's her.
I didn't even think about that. Yes, that is, because she had shorter hair in that. Yes, you're absolutely right. That's who Kevin James is going for.
Yes. So she's pretty fucking hot. So they meet her, and then he goes to the mortician, and they start talking a little bit. Sees his wife. His wife is pretty unchained. Can we talk about the fake ass crow that she was carrying around the whole movie? Because that was a fake ass crow. At one scene where she was in the little cellar and he brings her out, right? You saw like when she was petting that fake fucking crow, and one of the feathers came out. I was just like, that's pretty funny.
Well, it's a creepy setting, and just the fact that she's talking to a somewhat of a puppet, a stuffed animal, is showing that she turns out, like, oh, Marion, you're just talking to nobody, and it turns out she was talking to somebody, because Mary Shaw is able to actually bounce from different dolls, and that's sort of a doll. So and we'll get to the twist, but it's a sort of a doll in that sense. So she was indeed talking to somebody.
Yeah, she was indeed talking to somebody. So we get to the funeral. He's just distraught. The cop is like, I told you not to leave town and all that shit. But then he's in this creepy ass cemetery, and out of nowhere, he's just walking around, and then goes to the creepiest side of the cemetery. First of all, fuck you. Why are you even roaming around like that? Like, what are you doing? Sees Mary Shaw's grave and was like, holy fuck. You know what I mean? And then, we fast forward, and, he goes back, and you have to bury the doll. And then that's when I mentioned the scene where he takes Billy, and Billy just starts staring at him, and it's just like, fuck you, bro. You know what I mean? He buries him. Next day, Donnie Wahlberg shows up like, hey, found your friend. come here to bury some more motherfuckers. I told you not to leave town. Again, jurisdiction. What are you doing here, Donnie Wahlberg? But he lives by his own creed. Everyone knows that. Yeah, man. And then the plot thickens. Then, he goes, visits, his dad again. He's eating soup. We'll move along from there. Goes to visit the musician's wife again, and they say the whole story. We get this flashback scene that I thought was pretty great, right? We show her brilliance, but we also see her creepiness when she's alive. You know what I mean? And I thought that was beautiful. Again, with the settings and even the flashbacks. I didn't know how you could make it more gloomy, but we're in this fucking theater and it gets gloomy. It gets kind of cringeworthy at towards the part where the kid's I see your mouth moving, and she's just bitch, what?
Yeah, she's very mean. I mean, she gets heckled once and she commits murder. What the fuck?
Pretty much. Well, you just don't fuck with her. She's a bitch.
It was well done. That kid deserved it.
I see your mouth moving. Really? Why don't you come up here? Why don't you come on up here? And I like how she does the back and forth with Billy, and she's talking. And I always like seeing that when you see a ventriloquist try to actually do that, because that's hard.
Yeah.
To come to that, and then it just comes out when she just goes, "So, who's the dummy now?" And you're like, "Wow, she got him." And then turns out, no, she got him.
Yeah, she got him, all right.
She got him.
She got him, all right. And I kind of love it. When I heard the origin story, and just some of the people in the town wanted up doing, their own justice. And it was very reminiscent of another origin story, Freddy Krueger, right? Mm-hmm. When the people of the town started doing their own justice and burned him, and he came back to kill all their lineage, which is kind of what Mary Shaw is doing. You know what I mean? Everyone who was involved, she was getting at him. She was getting him. We get that origin story, and then shit starts hitting the fan. All right. We see the death scene of the mortician. He got it pretty good. And fuck you, Mary Shaw. All right. For scaring the shit out of me in that cellar. All right. Because I was watching it again, and I was like, nah, bitch.
That's a good scene.
It's such a good scene, really.
I like that scene. Now, what I think is crazy about it is Henry knows that, the whole screaming thing. Don't scream. She rips your tongue out, all that crazy stuff. And, he's looking for Marion, and then he turns out it's not Marion, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is bad. So he's trying to leave, trying to get out of that cellar, and then she kind of appears in a mirror, right behind him, sort of type of shit, and he sees her face, and he just starts going. He's not even thinking about it. Oh my God, you know what? I'm scared, but I shouldn't scream because I'm gonna die. And then that moment, he really screamed. He was and then she smiles, and then you just see him fucking roll out, and you're like, oh, Henry. I liked his character.
Yeah, man.
I was hoping that he didn't die.
Yeah, well, it's one of those the beloved character needs to get it. You know what I mean? Because that's the last strand of hope in the town. You know what I mean?
So at this point, I'm really wishing I would have seen this in the movie theaters, because I'm loving these. Mm-hmm. I'm loving the jump scares. I'm loving the deaths. And I'm smiling, and I'm like, this shit would be amazing. Everybody around me screaming, and I'm laughing my ass off.
It's good in the movie theater, because when it starts to get quiet, when it gets dead silence, because I remember when I seen it, and jumping back to the first scene, when, the teapot is going off, and then out of nowhere, the fucking thing it's going, but there's no sound. The radio's and then no sound. And I remember in the theater, I started looking around too, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Because you don't know what's happened. You just see a trailer. You don't know what's going on. Yeah. And the fact that there's thunder and lightning, but you see the lightning, you don't hear the thunder. So it's creepy, and it works. And in the movie theater, it's effective.
Oh yeah, man. I remember watching it in the theaters, and you have the AC pumping too. So you get that chill, because, you're used to movies with the sounds and even the scary sounds right before a pop jump scare, and we don't get any of that. And then I remember watching in the UA movie theater, and then all you hear when there was no more teapot whistle, no, and I almost cracked up a little bit, but I didn't want to get myself out of it. You know what I mean? But that's exactly how I feel every time you don't hear anything. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it throws you off, but it's It's effective. It's just, you know something's coming, which always, you know, it always sucks because you can now time it where you're like, okay. I mean, even fucking what's his face? Ashton says it. Jamie says it when it starts, and then Donnie Wahlberg's like, what the fuck? And he goes, that's how it starts. Like, you know, he's pretty much telling him, so something's about to happen. Yep. And you as the audience members are going, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, exactly. And I tell you, there was one thing when I was rewatching this movie too, and when Jamie was in the theater for the first time, because he goes back. So he's in the theater for the first time, and he's looking through all of her notes and all that other stuff. I did not notice the bitch running across the mirror. I didn't notice that. All the times I watched that movie, I saw it this time, and I was just like, get the fuck out of here. I'd never seen that before. Scared the shit out of me.
Yeah. No, fuck him. Fuck her.
Yeah.
Fuck him and fuck her. There's no reason for him to go, listen, you buried your fucking wife. Dude, there's no reason to find out what's going. Look, you heard the story from Henry. You know what? I'm out of here because she's
I'm leaving the doll.
I'm leaving the fucking doll. I'm fucking gone. And I'm not going back to my old home because now it's a fucking crime scene. I'm going to a different country. Mary Shaw's got to find him in order to get him. You know,
and then bring the doll to him.
And and the doll has to get to him. So they were obviously easy. It was obviously easy to find him because she was, you know, with the father, and obviously he had his information and all that shit. But if I get off the planet, like where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to fucking change my name, change all this shit, that bitch isn't finding him. She can't just randomly appear places. No, she needs that entity to do it, which is the dolls. And no, fuck that. And he's a moron. He did, in the long run, he got what he deserved.
Yeah, fucking idiot. Leave. Yeah. But then we wouldn't have the rest of the movie, right? We would.
Well, then this wouldn't be a movie. This would be.
He goes back to his
Mary
dad's
Shaw.
house. He's like, shit is hitting the fan. I need to talk to this motherfucker. You know, I found out that like we're a part of this bullshit. And she's like, nah, like he's sleeping this and this. Then he gets the call. Oh, I could prove that, like, you know, it's real. And who actually did it? Come meet me at the damn movie theater or the theater. And of course, Donnie Wahlberg's like, nah, gotta arrest you, bro. Bro, I gotta arrest you, tampering with evidence and shit like that.
Plenty of evidence. Like horrible cop right now.
Yeah, you know? So he pushed him and then he runs in there. Funniest line in the movie. Don't make me chase you. I don't even have a full tank of gas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
I don't have a full tank of gas. Jamie! And then he gets in his car and.
Yeah. Where does shotgun come from?
Oh, I'm assuming he had one.
No, well, he does.
He's a cop.
Right?
He's got to have at least a gun on him. And I mean, it makes sense to go. Because you got to think, he's been tailing this guy. He's been trying to pretty much arrest him and find evidence or reason to, because he thinks he's the one that killed his wife. Right. Which is funny because I like the scene when Donnie Wahlberg's talking to Jamie in the beginning, and he mentions like, well, you said you heard her talk to you. And he's like, yeah, she was calling my name. And he goes, well, that's strange because she didn't have a tongue. So how could you have heard it? So Donnie Wahlberg already looks at him like, you're a psychopath. Like, you're a fucking nutcase, stupid motherfucker. But yeah, that's not what cops do. They can't just go to different jurisdictions and fucking follow you and tamper with evidence and, you know, pretty much harass you. They do it anyway, but there's also a jurisdiction thing, and that does, you know, that plays a factor. But this movie they don't know how cops work. Yeah. And why is he by himself?
He felt like a typical, like, stupid cop. Like, in the beginning, he's eating a donut, isn't he?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I was like, and then, like you're saying, he's being all vigilante and stuff. Towards the end, though, he was a lot more believable. If you ever watch True, what is it, Blue Bloods?
Blue Bloods.
So his character kind of like starts to emerge. It's like the same character, like the vigilante. I'll do whatever I need to do to solve this type of thing.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed. But in the beginning, he was very stupid. I mean, typically he pulls out a shotgun. Like, come on.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He starts becoming more believable because he starts believing too. You know what I mean?
Right. Once you see the doll heads moving and the fucking shit starts talking and stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty much on your side now, bud. I figured it out. And then that's the part, because when he sees like something move and then he looks at him, he goes, if you say I told you so, I'll shoot you.
Yeah.
That was a funny line, because I get it, because you're sitting there like, okay, now I get it. You're not lying. It's not Henry. Henry didn't call you. Henry's dead.
Yeah, Henry is dead. You know, and he's just like, The fuck is going on here, Jamie?
I like that scene.
I would have said the same thing.
I like that
like,
scene, though. The scene with the dolls when their heads all turn. And that's when I get mad because that's when the fucking rocking chair is going on and we're doing poltergeist shit right now. And that's not nice. I'm not okay. I'm not okay with that scene.
Yeah, I'm not okay with that scene either. I mean, first of all, where the fuck did the clown puppet come from?
She made
all
one.
Right? Fuck.
She's an asshole.
Yeah, she is an asshole. She is a bitch. All right, with a long tongue.
Well, I mean, we didn't even get to the fact that before they even get to that scene, they see that red coat, red blanket on something. And what's that? Because you see all the bang, 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 and then there's the little coat, and then they yank off the coat, and it's the kid.
It's the kid.
He's like, back in the day. Who the hell is this? It's a great uncle.
No, he said it's a distant relative.
Distant relatives or distant relative. That shit was nasty.
Yeah,
that was gross. I was not okay with that.
No,
I was loving it.
I'm sure you were. You're like, fuck that. I thought, I was like, oh, that's just nasty.
You nasty.
And then they show the flashback of her, she pretty much killed him, and she's like trying to feed him and talking as him. Like, oh, wow.
Just like, wow, she's trying to make the perfect puppet.
Perfect doll.
The perfect doll.
Yeah, that's what the book says.
Yes. She's trying to make the perfect doll. And fuck that. All right. Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I mean, we get a lot of shit hitting the fan in the fucking theater. You know what I mean? Eventually we get the demise of our good old friend Donnie Wahlberg. He gets it. All right.
I think that's bullshit.
The one. You thought it was bullshit?
Sure. I mean, come on. He fell. He wasn't screaming because he was scared of her. He was screaming because he was falling. And it's, And then she goes, it's mad funny because you just see a ghost just woo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then she fucking. And then my question is, how does he come swinging on back in?
Yeah.
He fell. Really? Yeah, he swung back in just for a good jump scare. Bad James Wan on that one.
She had him. She was a puppeteer, wasn't she? She was pulling his strings, put him through the curtain so he could just.
Was that what that was? I
think so.
Because I thought because if you remember when Jamie fell, he fell the same way. So he fell into the water. So
but he didn't scream.
But he didn't. No, well he did.
And he did. And then that's when I realized, because I didn't even realize that the whole screaming was killing them. And that scene is when as he's falling, he covers his mouth.
Yeah, he covers his mouth.
Oh. I was like, that makes sense.
I mean, they just religiously said the poem, and it says, "Be sure not to scream, Marvin."
Yeah, or she'll rip your tongue out by the sea.
My ADHD kicks in sometimes. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The rhyme is creepy, but yeah, I felt like that was a cheap jump scare with Donnie, and
well, they needed to show it. I feel like.
Oh yeah, the graphics is awesome when you see him just do it. You're like, that's
and
it
was so fast. So she face fucked him so fast. Is the second he goes through the curtains, he pops right back out.
Yeah, she fucked the living shit out of him on that one.
Well, she's at the most powerful at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's unstoppable.
Yeah, almost.
Well, we'll talk about that.
Actually, you're right. So, all right. So now Jamie goes underneath and whatever. It's this little cellar, and it's just finds out that this is a way to stop her, and he kind of stops her for the time being. You know what I mean? And then we get to the twist. We get to the twist of this movie. And I got to tell you, did anyone see this twist coming? Marvin?
No.
You know what? I should have, but I was so engaged. I wasn't trying to decipher shit because I remember thinking yo, this dad is pale as fuck. But I was just like you guys just saying, I thought it was just the filming, making everything white and blue and stuff. And
yeah,
I didn't think two thoughts about it. And then another part was when the puppet comes to the house, I was like, this stupid ghost. Why did it just show up, rip his face off? Why is it sending a puppet to his house? Why would it I was like, is this ghost sitting in the attic just carefully packaging up a doll? And I was like, so I was shocked that this this ending, this twist was nice.
It was a good twist. It was a smart twist too. A lot of people I know that have seen it thought it was stupid. Like thought it was stupid, and I'm like, no, it's actually pretty smart because like you don't think that's what's coming because of how they set up the film. And I love because the beginning of the movie is her with the book, and she's drawing, and you're seeing all these little like diagrams of a doll and whatnot. It says how to make the perfect doll or the perfect doll, and then when you finally get the twist where it turns out his father's been dead the whole fucking time and he's got the stick going through the back of his head like a puppet, and it's like everything starts to hit him. And I love that too. I'm sure you guys caught this, but every time something happens, he doesn't scream. Obviously, we see that. He screams when he's falling, but he covers his mouth. But every time he sees something terrifying or whatever, he doesn't react. Like he's able to kind of hold it back until this moment where he realizes what the fuck just went down and that he's been taken for a fucking ride. And it turns out that the fucking perfect doll is the girl. And that's when, the whole who's the dummy now? And then he finally screams, because that's when you know you lost. You're not winning this fight. And yeah, that scene. Now, which ending did you see though? Because there's two endings.
Yeah, I mean, there's the unrated ending. I think that's from the DVD. But no, I saw the one where it kind of just like ends after he screams.
Okay, yeah. There's another ending. Yeah.
Yes, there is.
There's another ending because I had the DVD and the unrated DVD, so I was able to see both endings. And I think the ending when he screams and she smiles and then just comes right at him, it's a good way to end the film. The other ending was she knocks him out. And then she pretty much puts him, I think she sets him up because they're taking a picture and everybody's there and they take the photo, and that's when he screams. And then the movie ends of her repeating the story. So a great fucking ending though. The twist when they flip over that little fucking part, the little piece of paper, and it's her face, and you're like, oh shit. But the question was she a doll? And then in the other ending, it turns out she just possesses the girl. The girl, it is a real person.
Yeah, I thought even in the original ending too, it was like a kind of a possession thing. Like she allowed her to get inside, and then like she controlled it all, Yeah. And the perfect doll is the father, really.
No, the perfect doll is the girl.
Yeah. You're right, because of the possession. And
right. The perfect doll is a human. That's kind of where they come down. You can control a human. So
you're right. Exactly.
It's intense. That shit was crazy when she turns around and he just the way he reacts to now realizing I'm fucked. I mean, what were you gonna do? Punch her in the face? Like,
no, it's Mary Shaw.
Yeah, you were fucked.
Yeah,
just scream, much. Take the death, man. Take the death.
Yeah, and he did. He took it like a champ.
I guess. Yeah.
And I love the whole point where like I was saying, why can't she just kill him immediately? But no, like during the whole movie, she's like making him suffer. She's like mentally fucking him up with everything. With showing the dad's death, showing the tongue thing, which I was like, this is stupid. Like, why don't she just bite his face off? But just like, she starts playing with his ear, his cheek, licks him. I forgot what it is. But I was like, I love this. She's just like fucking with him during the whole movie instead of just killing him.
Because she knows she got him.
Yeah, she knew she could have easily killed him. Like the second that they drop the doll off, because obviously it's Ella that drops the doll, or Al, whatever her name is. She drops the doll. So she could have just opened the fucking door and been like, "Hey, boom," but just to scare him to get the scream out. But you forgot the other twist of why the wife got killed.
Yes.
Because she wasn't an Ashton. She wasn't an Ashton, but it turns out that she was pregnant with a boy.
Yes.
And that's the scene with the clown, and when she's like, "Come closer and I'll tell you." No, I'm good. No. Thanks. Cool. Yeah.
And they kind of foreshadowed that. Like, you didn't know in the beginning because like the wife kind of put a pillow underneath her.
Yeah, like she was,
So I don't know if like at that point when you're watching it, you're like, does she want a kid? Is she pregnant? Like, and boom, she was pregnant. You know what I mean? And she had to finish the Astor legacy. She had to kill him off. But that's it. That is Dead Silence. We laughed, we cried, we said fuck you to Mary Shaw, and we have reached the end. And I will get to all of you guys and what you think at the end, and whether or not it's going to be a Flickbook. But we have some awards to give away, and we have a game to play. But first, I got to tell you a little something. Hey, horror newbies and Flickbook fans, Mr. Malave here, and you know we at Flickbook Horror love to determine which movies are meant for the non-average horror viewers. Well, now's your chance to get in on all the action because Horror Pack is a monthly subscription that sends you horror movies that you get to keep. That's right, I said keep. Simply choose your monthly plan of either Blu-rays or DVDs, and every month you'll receive a pack with 4 movies, one specifically being a Horror Pack exclusive. And who knows, it may be just the movie sleeper we've been looking for that'll find its way to the Flickbook. So go ahead and click the link in this episode's description to sign up for Horror Pack and tell them Mr. Malave sent you. Thanks for listening to the Flickbook Horror, and we'll see you at the movies. All right. So just make sure you get that. So it is time to get into our awards. And I got to tell you, I'm going to start right off the bat, and I'm going to go with I'm Just a Little Scared.
He's doing it.
And Tommy James, I want to know your award for I Was Just a Little Scared in Dead Silence.
The whole movie. No. This movie has a lot of moments where, I just a little scared. But Mr. Malave, this is not I Just a Little Scared. I was scared. I was fucking scared. And I'm going to tell you when. Okay, so we didn't talk about this scene. Thank you, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk about it twice. So the scene when he's explaining the whole thing about Mary Shaw, right? And then he's telling Jamie that when she died, she wanted to be turned into a doll.
Oh, yeah.
Which fuck her for that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then he lives on top of the morgue. So he goes down as a fucking child and he walks over to see what she looks like, because what kid wouldn't want to see what a dead person that looks like a doll looks like? And he looks over and the fucking casket falls. And then this bitch, because the way they filmed it, because it's nighttime, it's completely dark outside, and they have the thunder and lightning going on. So that's your only light you get. And then she falls and her mouth opens up and he starts to back away and she's just staring at this motherfucker. The lightning strikes. She's gone.
She's gone.
And then the lightning strikes again, and this bitch is standing right there. She is literally standing right over him, and he's about to scream, but he doesn't scream. He covers his mouth and he covers his eyes. He goes like this. And at that moment, when I seen her, I turned into Bernie Mac, okay? No, North Carolina. Like, I'm not dealing with this bullshit. You could fuck this shit. What the fuck? Like, I saw this in the movie theater, and I still have, obviously, because I've watched the movie again. I sat there and I said, get the fuck out of here. Like, wow, what a great, scary moment in that film, because she just looks horrifying. Like, the mouth opens up and then she's just standing over him.
Her eyes are all popped out.
Oh, fuck that shit. I'm telling you, it went straight Bernie Mac. Like, it was just, no, North Carolina. Like, I'm not dealing with this fucking shit.
Man.
I don't care if anybody's listening like, he's trying to be black. No, yes, because this movie turns you black when you see that film, when you see that scene, because you're like, bitch, get the fuck out of there. Like, no, oh boy. That was a amazing scene. Great job by James Wan. Great job by everybody in that movie. But that scene's fucking scary, and I didn't like it. And I couldn't go to sleep because of that. So I'm not just a little scared, Mr. Malave. I was scared.
Man, I have to agree with you. That scene fucking scared the living shits out of me. I always said, if a movie gets you, then it makes you want to turn on all the lights when you got to pee in the nighttime. And then you got to look at the door and make sure that there's no little dummies or anybody in the mirrors and none of that shit, because I will scream and then get pee everywhere. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah. But you were just a little scared, but you were a lot of scared.
No, I was scared.
That is
I wasn't a little scared. I was scared.
Yeah, fuck that, man. You shouldn't be down here. Bitch, you shouldn't have done that. Crazy. Dad, you crazy.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, that was the killing with kindness. Oh, well, no, we're getting to the killing with kindness.
That's your award.
That was because I'm still a little scared. I was still a little scared. That was the I was just a little scared award by Tommy James. And we're going to get to the killing with kindness because everyone knows that a good kill needs to be killed with kindness. And I got to say, there was a few kills in this movie, right? Where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, I'd say 5. I'll say about 5 of them in this movie. You know what I mean? But the one kill that stands out with all the rest. And no, it's not Donnie Wahlberg showing you the mouth all popped open because we didn't really see him die. We saw him dead already. I got to go with the kill him with kindness award. The best kill in this movie has to be my man, Henry, the mortician. I got to tell you, we saw exactly how Mary Shaw kills these motherfuckers in that scene, and it is brutal. She just rips the tongue out, eats it, and it just becomes part of her long ass tongue. And then you just rips the jaw off, and she's just looking at the jaw, and it's just fucking creepy as shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's gruesome, it's disgusting, and it just looks so fucking great. And if you're gonna kill anybody when they scream, you gotta bite their tongue off and rip their jaw off. Because then they're really not screaming no more.
No, you can't.
So if you're gonna kill him, you gotta kill him that way. But make sure you kill him with kindness.
Yeah, you gotta kill him with kindness, Mr. Malave. I like how when we always stick to it, this movie specifically, we stick to Mary Shaw, which actually brings me to ask you a question, Mr. Malave. A question I'd like to ask you when it comes to Mary Shaw.
Yes.
What's her cocktail?
Ooh, you know what? You took it right out of my mouth because when I was watching this movie, right, I was looking at it and it drives you to drink sometimes because you get nervous. You get nervous. You're trying to figure out how you're going to beat this bitch without screaming. You know what I mean? So you want to pour something up. And when I thought about it and I saw Mary Shaw ripping off that jaw and biting off that tongue, I was just like, ooh, it's like thunder and lightning and there's no sound. Oh, it's like dark and stormy. So I got to give Mary Shaw the dark and stormy cocktail. I got to tell you, you know why? Because, you know, it's made, if you don't know this, a dark and stormy is ginger beer, a little lime juice, and some dark rum. So you know what? It starts off light and refreshing because she's just a puppeteer. She just wants to make people laugh, and it's supposed to be fun. So it's all light and everything else. But then she has a dark side, and that dark side, oh, it'll haunt you, and it'll make you scream, and it'll fuck you up.
Yeah.
So she is a dark and stormy. Mary Shaw's a dark and stormy.
Nice, dark and stormy.
What about you, Smooth Effect? What is Mary Shaw as a cocktail? If you have to give her a nice cocktail.
Well, Mr. Malave, when I think of Mary Shaw and all the nightmares she's given me and the fact that I have to look in the corner of my room and say, is she standing right there? She could be. It's possible. I'm going to give her a Corpse Reviver number 2. Whoa. Have you ever had a Corpse Reviver number 2?
I have not.
Me neither, but this is what's in it. It's gin, lemon juice, dry vermouth, and absinthe.
Absinthe, oof.
Absinthe. So you just be seeing shit.
Oh, you be seeing shit.
By watching her, and if you look at the, if you go ahead and you Google it, it's very like grayish, a little green to it because of the absinthe. But yeah, no, I'm going to give her a Corpse Reviver number 2 because fuck that bitch. And I'm not a gin drinker, just like I'm not a big fan of Mary Shaw.
No, yeah, gin is for like maniacs. You know what I mean? And she's a maniac, so I get you.
She's a psycho.
Corpse Reviver number 2. That's well fitting. Marvin, Marvelous Marvin. Mary Shaw, that bitch. What cocktail you say, or a drink? It could just be a straight up drink. You know what I mean? What drink is Mary Shaw to you?
You see, since I watched this on a early Sunday morning, I was like, oh, this is a perfect movie to watch during brunch. So, you know, a quick Bloody Mary.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Remind me of that blood that I wish I would have seen more. But I mean, Bloody Mary, you know, hits you, nice, good double shot of vodka.
Ooh. A little strong Bloody Mary.
That's a good one too.
That's a really good one. You know who else is a Bloody Mary? Carrie. That bitch is a Bloody Mary. So maybe the first one is a Carrie and the second one's a Mary Shaw.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's
Mary
a good
Shaw's the double shot of vodka though.
Oh yeah, because Carrie's a virgin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's the virgin Bloody Mary. Double shot of vodka is Mary Shaw. Oof, that bitch.
Not a fan.
She's scary as fuck. And speaking of fucks, you know, every time you see something, and a lot of times in this movie, right? You looking at that bitch, you want to scream, and you hear everything go dead silent, and you be like, "Fuck yeah! Fuck fuck you, Mary Shaw, and fuck you, Dead Silence. So now we have reached the part of the show where we just gotta say fuck you movie and be like, what the fuck is going on? This is the fuck you movie.
Fuck you movie.
Fuck you movie. Fuck you, Dead Silence, and fuck you, Mary Shaw, and fuck you, Billy. All right, for being scary as shit. All right, so fuck you movie. I'm gonna start with Marvelous Marvin. I want to know, what is your fuck you movie in Dead Silence?
I mean, I enjoyed the damn movie. The only part that I want to say fuck you was Donnie Wahlberg, which is a stupid cop. I was like, why do you got to make him so stupid? Other than that, I enjoyed it. I love the jump scares. None of those were fuck you. Maybe for you guys. I love this movie. I want them more go, but just Donnie Wahlberg. Why? Why does he have to be a stupid, typical cop? Fuck you.
You know what? Fuck you, Donnie Wahlberg, for being a stupid cop.
Being stupid.
Yeah. And just to be clear, everyone, the fuck you movie is not always negative. All right. It can be such a good movie that makes you say, fuck you, I'm out. Or a part of the movie that he's like, I'm not doing that shit. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
There's different types of fuck you, right? There's different ways to say fuck you.
Yeah. You could say, fuck you, go get lost. Fuck you, you suck. Or fuck you, that was good. You know what I mean? But yes, Donnie Wahlberg being a stupid cop, Marvelous Marvin, just say him, fuck you.
Sure.
Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Fuck you.
Fuck you. You know what I mean? All right, Smooth Effect. What is your fuck you movie?
Well, this whole movie could be an entire fuck you, to be honest with you. But when I think of my fuck you moments, it comes to things that bothered me when I was a child. One, I was never a fan of dolls. And two, I was never a fan of clowns. Mm-hmm. So the moment when the clown is there and he's rocking back and forth, you know, I wasn't okay. But that part when he's talking to her, when Mary Shaw's talking to him, and he's like, well, why did you kill my wife? Like, she's not an Ashton. Why would you do this? And she goes, come closer. Mm-mm. And he looks at Donnie, and Donnie shakes his head no, like a normal person would. And he goes, okay. And I'm sitting there, oh, fuck you. No, fuck you, you stupid motherfucker. Excuse me? No, I'm good. Thank you. You know what? I don't need to know why my wife died. She's already dead. It's okay. I'll move on. No, go fuck yourself. How dare you? This moron. First off, and Marvin said it best, too. If she wanted to kill him, that was a great moment right there to fucking get his ass, you know? Yeah. But no, she was toying with him. But how could you be like, okay, so she scares people, they scream, they die. Okay, fine. Tell me the secret. Bitch, no. Listen, I have the high ground right now. I'm standing up. You're behind a fucking doll. Kiss my ass. Go fuck yourself. You tell me why you killed my wife. Or, in my retrospect, I'm good. She's dead. I don't need to know. Honestly, I don't even know why I'm here. I apologize. I will go fuck myself now, and I will leave. So, no, fuck you for him to go even think it's a good idea to get close to that fucking doll so she can tell him what she does and then licks him. And, oh, no, fuck you, movie.
Yeah. Fuck you, movie. Fuck you, clown. Fuck you, Mary Shaw. This is ridiculous.
Fuck that shit.
Fucking ridiculous. Don't get and fuck you, Jamie, for getting closer. You should have listened to Donnie Wahlberg because he wasn't a stupid cop then.
He was the only one that was smart. No, don't do that, man. You probably shouldn't do that right now. Nah, you know what? I'm going to go do it. All right, so when she kills you, it's all good.
Yeah, right. It's all
good,
you know what, dumbass.
You know what I like, too, is that you don't realize she's there, right? Because it's only the doll. Yeah. But once that whole thing happens and then the hands come out, like, oh, she was standing there the whole time. It's like, oh, that's so cool.
She was just standing there. Like, fuck that.
Fuck that. She's in the shadows the whole time. Fuck you.
Fuck her.
Yeah, no, fuck that, man.
Bitch.
Fuck you. Fuck you movie, man. Fuck you movie. Those are two really good fuck you movies. It is my turn for the fuck you movie. And just like Smooth Effect said, this whole movie is a fuck you movie because there are so many times where I'm just like, fuck you, bitch. I'm out. I am out. So, but you know what? That's a scapegoat. We can't just say the whole movie is a fuck you movie because then, come on, man. But I tell you one thing that stood out for me. And yes, I did notice for the first time that bitch creeped across the mirror and it almost got me to say fuck you. It did. I said fuck you. But I gotta tell you something. This motherfucker Billy is a fuck him. All right. Every time you see him just staring, and even when their eyes are not moving, you see the staring. You're like, I don't want you to look at him. Don't want. Why are you standing? Why are you sitting down? And then, one of the scariest parts is when the red light is flashing.
It's a good one.
Then, fucking red lights flashing, and then you see him just kind of getting cockeyed.
His mouth opens.
Looking from the side of his eyes, and then it just keeps turning. Then his mouth opens up a little bit. I was like, nah, bro, fuck you, Billy. Billy, fuck you. Fuck this doll. I'm ripping it up. I'm burning it. I'm cracking it up. It's wood, by the way. So I'm killing the shit out of it, breaking it. I don't give a fuck. Fuck this. And why is it not even in the case? I'm closing that shit up, locking it up. You're not getting out there because I know you're part of this bullshit. Fuck you, Billy, every time. Then you're in the car, and then he knows he's about to bury him, and he's just staring at him like, you really gonna do this? I'm gonna fuck you up. Fuck you, Billy. Fuck you, Billy, and your damn ventriloquist body and your eyes that are just cold and dead and just fucking creepy. Fuck you, Billy. Fuck you.
Fuck you, Billy.
And fuck you, movie.
Yeah, big fuck you.
I'm sorry. I had to get that out. I exorcised the demons. I did.
You did?
I think we all did.
We all did. We all did. We exercised those demons that'll still haunt us as time goes on.
I just got to tell you, you watch Dead Silence, and it just makes you go, fuck you! Fuck you!
Fuck you.
Marvin, we can't go on until you say it.
Fuck you.
There you go. There you go. Fuck you. And fuck you movie, guys. And then when you watch it, you'll see what I'm telling you. You see what I'm saying. And if you have seen it, you know what we're saying. All right. But those are our awards. And now it's time to win some money. Marvin, you trying to win some money?
Yep.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you're gonna, but you're gonna try. Smooth Effect, are you ready to win to win?
I'm here to defend, yeah.
You're here to defend. Mm-hmm. All right, because you know what time it is. It is time to play Money for Nothing. The Price is Wrong, bitch.
The price is wrong, bitch. The price is wrong, bitch.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of The Price is Wrong, bitch. Double up for nothing. And of course, I have my panelists, the two competitors. We have Marvelous Marvin versus Smooth Effect himself, Tommy James. And it is another doozy. We are talking Dead Silence. And that is right. Are you gentlemen ready to play?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right, just make sure you have no phones, no Googles, because it needs to be genuine. And that is right. We have $100 on the line. Marvin, if you get this question right, and I'm talking about to the T, it needs to be the exact number. You get $100 courtesy of the Flickbook horror. And that would get sent to you right away. But you have to get the answer. And of course, if Smooth Effect wins, it's another notch on his belt, and that money stays in the bank for another day.
I got one win. Got one win, Mr. Malave.
You do have one win, and that last win, you were within 10.
I know, so I was close.
You almost broke the game.
No, I might do it this time.
Oh shit! Well, you know what? We have another doozy, and here is the question. Here we go, guys, and we are talking in 2007, Dead Silence made I can't even talk because Mary Shaw is in here and everything stopped like making noise. But let's try this again. In 2007, Dead Silence was in the all-time domestic box office for horror with $16.5 million, right? And I want to know, what rank is Dead Silence in the all-time domestic box office for horror movies?
For horror, all horror, right?
For all horror movies, what is the all-time what is the rank of the all-time domestic box office list for this movie for horror? 2007, Dead Silence, 16.5 million. It's on the all-time domestic box office for horror. What is its ranking? I'm going to give you guys another 10 seconds. We're going to vibe out to the music until we don't hear it anymore. Then you know Mary Shaw's coming. All right. couple more seconds. And that is it. Lock in those answers, and I'm going to go first with Marvelous Marvin. What is the rank of Dead Silence in the all-time domestic box office for horror movies?
Man, this one's hard because I enjoyed it, but it sounds like the critics didn't. So I'm going to have to say 564.
564. I'm going to lock in that answer. 564. 564. That is your ranking, and I locked it in for Marvin. And Smooth Effect, what is your number?
Oh, man, this one's rough because I agree with Marvin, though. Even though I did like this movie, it wasn't critically acclaimed. It didn't make that much money. It barely made over its own budget. So I'm going to say 705.
705. I'm going to lock in that answer. 705.
705.
All right. Survey says, no, that's not the game. I got to tell you, you are both wrong. Definitely incorrect. And both of you are over. Actually.
Really?
Yes, both of you are over.
Wow.
Yes, the correct answer is for the all-time domestic box office for horror movies, Dead Silence is ranked 328.
Wow.
Yes. $16.5 million. And it's 328. Marvin, you had 564. That is way over.
Yeah.
And Tommy, you had 705, which is way over. So that money stays in the bank. No one wins. And it's because the price is wrong because you're just a little bitch. That is it. That is the game, everyone. I'll see you next time. And that money's still in the bank. We'll see if someone can take it out. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye now. Just make sure you don't scream. Make sure you don't scream. Make sure you don't scream. All right. That was intense, guys. That was definitely
I'm very
intense.
surprised that it was as low as it is, to be honest with you.
Yeah, man. I was too, actually. When I saw that, I was like, no shit. For horror movies.
Yeah.
You know?
But I guess because a lot of horror movies back in the day, they didn't make a lot. Horror doesn't make a lot of money. So,
right.
You know, especially if you go Carrie barely fucking made money. If you really look at it, it's mostly video sales and stuff. So I guess how much did Dead Silence make in total?
In total, it made domestic box office. It made 16.5 million.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money.
Yeah, international, it made 4.4 million.
So like 20.
So you got like $20 million, $20.6 million.
All right. So I think its budget was, what was its budget? Its budget was 20 mil.
Yeah, I mean, but
so it made its budget back, which is bad.
But no, because then in domestic sales for video, DVD sales and video sales, $18.3 million. So
that's why the cult following. All right.
Exactly. So it doubled its money almost. So, cult following.
Yeah, it definitely cult following.
Yeah, man. Well, I like the movie, but
me too.
We are reached almost the end. So now's the time to say our piece with Dead Silence and to vote on if it's going into the Flickbook horror. And I'm going to start with our guest, Marvelous Marvin. Talk to us, final thoughts of the movie, and then, of course, vote to see if it needs to be seen at least one time before you die for the non-average horror movie goer.
All right. So when it comes to horror movies, I'm rarely scared. And sometimes even bored, but this actually had me engaged. I loved it. The jump scare caught me the first time. I was like, good job. I was like, touche, right? And I wish it was a little bit more gory, but other than that, I loved it. I mean, 2007, I think this probably would have held up even better than me watching it now. So I love this movie. I really did.
Nice.
Am I going to see this? Am I going to tell other people to watch this? Of course. I got to get my girl to watch this now. Mm-hmm. Shut off all the lights. And I know she hates clowns, and that clown scene with the rocking chair is going to get her good. I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to warn her. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's a really good movie. It's a good movie. So the question is, are you putting it in the Flickbook?
Me? Of course.
Oh, that's a yes. That's a yes.
For
you
me,
need to see Dead Silence at least one time before you die. Just make sure you don't scream. So Marvin's putting it in the flick book. He is putting it in the flick book. Yes, okay. That's one for in the flick book. Tommy.
Yeah.
You're putting it in.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yes,
oh, yes,
I am. Again, I saw the movie when it came out. I bought the movie when I had an opportunity to buy it. It's good. I feel that it gets a bad rep. I feel it is an underrated James Wan film. Yeah, Conjuring and all that stuff. Obviously, as time went on, he made better movies, but this is a great follow-up to Saw. Okay, it's just a different route he took. So a lot of people expected the Saw movie and got a dead silence, and they weren't happy with it. I think those people are bugging. I think that the character of Mary Shaw is actually scary. The concept of the story, though could be a little stupid, is actually scary. Dude, the bad guy wins in this movie. The bad guys don't win. The entity won in this movie. Yes, 1,000%. You have to see it one time in your life. I would always say this movie should be watched. I have told people that have never seen it. I always bring it up when it comes to horror. Have you ever seen Dead Silence? Nah. Watch that film. Yes, 1,000% watch this movie.
1,000%. You need to watch this movie from The Smooth Effect. And now, of course, everyone knows that to be inducted in the flick book, it needs to be unanimous. There's 3 of us. So we have 2 yeses, and it comes down to me, Mr. Malave. And I got to say, I was the one who picked this movie to talk about on Flickbook Horror. And I knew why, because I knew I was going to put this in the flick book. And I have to agree with both of you guys. It's going in the flick book. And this is a movie you need to absolutely watch before you die. It is one of the craziest movies. Like, even today, when I was watching it, I was like, nah, man, this is fucked up. And when a movie can still do that to you after all the times of me watching it, because like The Smooth Effect, went to the movies, got the DVD, watched it over and over. I fucking played it every time someone hasn't seen it. Oh, you want to see a scary movie? Oh, we're gonna see a scary movie. And this is a scary movie. Dead Silence, fuck you, Billy, fuck you, Mary Shaw. Everyone did so good in there, and I hate the fact that it gets a bad rap. But you know what? It doesn't get a bad rap here on the Flickbook, because it is one of the movies that you need to see before you die as a non-average horror movie goer, and it's gonna scare you, and it's gonna get you prepared for all the other shit you need to watch, because this movie is going in the flick book. Dead Silence, thank you, James Wan. And you don't deserve all the rap that you get for this movie. It's so good. So good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good, again, it's just underrated.
Yeah.
You know, it was overlooked because Saw was so huge. So I feel bad for this film to come out after Saw.
Yeah, but you know what? Again, you were saying people were expecting Saw, but you know what? We got a twist ending, just like in Saw.
Yeah.
Right? No one expected the motherfucker to get up from the ground. No one expected that this fucking twist, that the dad was dead all along and it was his wife pulling all the damn strings. Sure. And like you said, the bad guy won at the end. Guess what? In Saw, the bad guy won at the end. So it is reminiscent of Saw. But you know what? Motherfuckers get in their own way, and they go in there with expectations instead of just watching a really good horror movie. And that's what you need to do when you're watching this. Yeah, go in there, just chilling, and then you're going to get chilled, and you're going to fucking scream.
Sure.
Great movie, and it's inducted in the Horror Flick Book, and I couldn't be more happy.
3rd movie in.
Yes, 3rd movie in. We have Carrie, we have Dead Silence, and The Faculty.
Yep.
And those are the 3 that are in so far. And that's great. It's great. It's a good lineup so far, and I'm happy for it. But it's time to say goodbye until another movie and to another episode. And we have ourselves a doozy in the next episode, too. We are talking another 90s movie.
Yeah.
We are talking Urban Legends.
Urban Legend, which was actually, funny enough, a fan request.
Yes, a fan request. So that means we're listening, and that means you guys are listening too. And we're definitely getting more fan requests, and those movies we are going to talk about. I'm excited for that one. But until then, let's say our goodbyes, gentlemen. Marvelous Marvin, thank you again for coming on the Flick Book. Always great, like always. Say your goodbyes to the people.
Thank you, guys. I enjoyed this. It tickled my funny bone. I can't wait to see more horror movies like this, and none of that, that fodder stuff that just bores me. But yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
You're a maniac, by the way.
Psycho.
Yeah, fucking psycho. But thank you, Marvelous Marvin. Smooth Effect.
Well, again, this was a lot of fun. It's one of those movies that I love to talk about, but I hate to talk about. I love to watch, but I hate to watch. It makes it hard for me to sleep at night. But it's a good movie, man. It's so much fun. And just to throw it out there that everybody listening, this Saturday, August 20th, will at Phantasm Orlando, me and Caitlin will be there doing a Flickbook horror panel. We will be talking paranormal activity. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's a 2-hour long panel that we have, so it's going to be a doozy. Yes, we're going to be playing Money for Nothing, The Price is Wrong, bitch. Yes, we're going to say fuck you movie. Yes, we're going to have a couple of drinks. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if anybody in the Orlando area that's going, please come to the panel. It starts at 6 p.m. on Saturday. This Saturday, August 20th, this Saturday. Be there because, again, we're talking paranormal activity, and I got lots to say about that film. So I will see you Saturday. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Make sure you're going to go check out that panels because our panels are always a lot of fun. And who knows? You may get a drink. You may get a drink and you may get to drink with the Flickbook crew. Unfortunately, I cannot be there because I am in New York right now and I couldn't make my way to Orlando in enough time. I'll actually be in Mexico. But it's going to be great, and I will be watching. So, guys, go over there. I'm Mr. Malave, a.k.a. Matthew Malave. And for all things Flickbook, please follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and stream these episodes wherever you stream your podcast shows. And if you have a movie that you want us to talk about, please reach out to us, and you may find that movie on the Flickbook while we discuss it. But until then, stay classy and peace.
She just goes a little mad sometimes. We all go a little mad sometimes.